Hi, Joni here with Yaya. I'm here to do a specialty class that is going to be targeting core work and hip opening. So I'm going to get started by telling you to sit up nice and tall. Draw the shoulders down and reach the crown of the head to the sky. And focus on trying to allow those shoulders to come over the hips while pulling the belly in and up. For some of us, if we have really tight hips or tight lower backs, this is going to be very challenging to sit here for a longer period of time. So if you're able to see yourself and you kind of are sitting on the back side of the sit bones, you're really going to want a blanket or a block underneath you because sitting like this is basically telling your body that you don't really need to open up. And so to be able to get on the tips of those sit bones and sit tall, you may need a block or a blanket. All right, so shoulders are aligned over the hips, the crown of the head is reaching to the sky, and we're going to focus on breathing in and out through the nose. As the breath deepens, allow your attention to draw inward, allow yourself to find clarity here. Remembering the areas that we are targeting as we move in and out of poses today, allow yourself to connect more with these areas, the hips and the stomach, the length of the spine. And then we will get started. I'm going to tell you to take those hands down by the hips and extend the legs all the way out in front of you. Toes are going to be up to the sky, heels are going to press down to the ground. Go ahead and take those hands down by the hips. Our first pose is our Dandasana pose. We'll actually do this now, and then we're going to do it again in a little bit with some core work added. So we're going to press firmly into the palms of the hands, reach the crown of the head up, root the heels down, get the legs long and strong, and deep breaths as you inhale and exhale, trying to stay active and long through the entire body. Exhale. 2 more deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale, making sure those shoulders are over the hips. 1 more deep inhale. Exhale, releasing the body a little bit. Not as much energy being used, right? Let everything shake out a little. I'm going to reach those arms up to the sky and then exhale forward to the shins, the ankles, or the toes. Find which works best for you today. Staying long in the back, pull the belly in. Remember to keep the back long here. If we're working to find more length in those hamstrings, more opening in the hips, we're going to want to stop depending on that lower back to help us come into stretches, right? Instead, starting the process of training other muscles to help us get into these. For instance, pulling the belly in and up and keeping long in the spine helps us to find more length here. It just takes a little time. All right, nice deep inhale to come back up, and we're going to bring the bottom of the feet together. Wrap your hands around the top of the feet and draw the knees down. Squeeze the knees down as deeply as you can. Deep inhale and deep exhale. We'll do 2 more deep breaths here. Exhale and 1 more. Exhale. Slowly bring those knees back up and extend the legs all the way back out. All right, from here we're going to do a Dandasana twist. So I want you to take your left hand and it's going to come to the outside of the right foot. The left hand comes to the outside of the right foot. And as I begin to lift this right heel off the mat, I'm going to be very cautious not to lean all the way to one side or the other to try to find balance. Instead, I'm going to try to find balance from the center. So if I start to lengthen out that leg and it starts to make me round out and lean back, then I'm going to keep that right knee bent, okay? But you do try to lengthen out and you do try to turn those toes in. And if you need a strap to hold the leg up here, then please by all means use that. Pay attention on sitting firmly on the bottom of both of those sits bones as we lengthen out that right leg. The right arm is going to come to touch the outside of the hand, right? And then we're going to take a nice deep inhale as we open up and exhale to close. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close. And 1 more. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close. Reach. Now open to hold. Deep inhale, looking over towards those right fingertips. Exhale, 1. Inhale, long, long back, bottom of those sits bones. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Slowly draw the bottom of that right foot to the inside of that left thigh. Set tall, tall, tall. We're going to take that left leg and reach it around behind us, right? So getting long, long, long here, forward, nice and long. Don't worry about how low you get to the ground. Worry about trying to stay grounded, pushing the back of those hips back, pulling the belly in and up, and finding length in the spine. Not depth, or not lowering, but length. Because that length eventually allows you to find your way a little closer to the ground as we open up. Exhale, 2. 1 more. Exhale, 3. Slowly come all the way back up. Send the legs back out in front of you. Shake it out a little. And then we're going to take the opposite leg. So, right hand to the outside of the left foot. Remember to keep the weight even on the bottom of both of those sits bones as we lift up the left leg. Maybe turn those toes in a tiny bit, right? Left arm. We're going to reach out. Inhale as we open. Sitting up a little bit taller. Exhale to close. 2 more. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Tall back. 1 more. Exhale, close. And we're going to open to hold. Inhale, looking over towards the left fingertips. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Coming back to center, taking the bottom of that left foot to the inside of that right thigh. And then taking that right knee to bend at the side. We get tall, tall, tall here. Remember, those blocks are always an option. And then we come forward. As far as feels available, nice long back. Exhale. Think about keeping the hips grounded and reaching the back of the hips to the wall behind you. Exhale. Keeping the heart lifted and not letting it cave in. 1 more. Exhale. Nice. Slowly we'll come back up. And we're going to take the legs nice and wide this time. Right? Toes up to the sky, heels to press down to the ground. Root down through those heels. Get long in those legs. Get long in the torso. And then hinge forward. So remember, it's not about how low we can come down, rounding out the back. It's about staying long here. Rooting down through the sits bones. Pushing the back of the hips to the wall behind you. Taking the toes towards the sky. Really pressing into those heels. Keeping the knees soft. Pulling the belly in and up as you try to find more space between the ribs and the hips. Exhale. Exhale. Maybe those fingertips can start to walk out a little bit further. Try not to let the toes start to drift inward. Exhale, 3. All right, slowly come all the way back up. We're going to bring the legs back together. So now this is going to be one of those core ones that we do, right? One of the things that we learn is how to be from a seated position and to kick all the way through to go into a plank position. If we've had any kind of things that we need to be careful of, I would like you to be mindful of, your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders as you're working on these things, because when we are building up core strength, we can tend to rely a lot on our joints. So a lot of times people will lock the joints and kind of like put things in place, and we really want to keep the elbows soft here and utilize those deep tummy muscles. So I'm going to tell you to take those hands down by the hips. Those blocks can come underneath you here. And you may even take them to the second level, or you may wait to take them to the second level in a moment. It's your choice what works better. The higher the blocks, the more that you have to be able to push yourself up off the ground, which is what we're going to do, right? We're going to exhale and lift those hips and soften those knees, and then come all the way back down. And when that happens, we're going to try not to let the shoulders creep up to the ears. So pull the belly in and up, press for 2. Maybe try to pull those knees in towards the belly, right? Exhale, press for 3. Inhale. Exhale, press for 4. Inhale. And one more time. Exhale, press for 5. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and slowly come all the way down and shake it out. Now what we're going to do here is very similar, and we're going to work to kicking our legs back. So you might want to come a little bit higher on those blocks. I'm going to tuck in maybe my shirt so it doesn't get in my way, and I tripped over it earlier. So now I'm going to cross the legs. Left leg in front of the right. The hands are down and on the blocks, right? And I'm not going to let the shoulders creep up, but instead I'm going to press down, getting my hips away and trying to kick back, right? And it might not happen right away, and that's okay. But the first thing is we press, we try to pull, and then we try to come back. And 3, pull, and 4, oops, without falling, hopefully, and 5, okay? And then we get to switch, okay? So remember, we're trying not to put too much emphasis on those wrists or those elbows or the shoulders. And if 5 reps feels like it's a little bit too much, start with 3, right? Maybe hold it instead of trying to kick into anything. We're going to do that on the opposite side, so now the right leg's crossed in front, right? Exhale, pulling those knees up, lifting the hips, trying to uncross the legs so you can kick them back, right? Right leg in front, deep inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 4. And exhale, 5. From here, you can take those blocks away, and you're going to inhale, plank position. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, knees down, and child's pose. Take the palms to face the sky, and allow yourself to breathe deeply here. And then slowly come back up. Tabletop position, 3 cat-cow breaths. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. And as you exhale, pull the belly in and up, tuck the toes, find your downward facing dog. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Right leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Try to keep the weight even. Try to keep the hips lifting and pushing back. Last deep inhale. Exhale, pull that right foot through and drop the back knee down. All right? Left hand's going to come to the inside and right arm's going to reach up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, calming down and slowly walking yourself back. Right toes to the sky. Now it's going to be a great idea to tap those blocks here, depending on your flexibility. One more deep inhale. Trying to keep the back long. As you exhale, take the bottom of that front foot and pull it back towards you to bring that front knee right back on top of that front ankle. Now those blocks are on either side of the knee. We're going to inhale up into a low lunge. So we lift the arms. Exhale, 1. Now from here, we have to be cautious that we're not sinking into it and really overextending that front hip. So think about drawing the tailbone down and pulling the belly in and up. 2, 1 more. Exhale, 3, just dropping the right arm down. Left arm will send up to the sky a little bit higher without the shoulder. And exhale, side bend to the right. Notice how you can feel this all the way down and all the way through the outside of that left leg. Exhale. Exhale. 1 more. Exhale. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, back to those blocks or the hands. I'm going to send the right leg back to the sky. Nice deep inhale. This time as you exhale, draw that right ankle to the left wrist for 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. This time exhale, 5 to hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Dropping that right leg down. Now, remember, you can always take a block or a blanket or some kind of pillow if this feels a little too intense when you're trying to square those hips. And allow yourself to draw the tailbone down. And then slowly coming to the forearms if that feels available. Staying here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more. Slowly coming all the way back up. We're going to take 5 deep breaths here, and then we're going to get to come back down to our forearms. So those blocks are another great tool to utilize here, because if you're starting to feel a little bit too much, or if you feel like you can situate yourself a little bit better, balance yourself a little bit better, we try to balance here, taking the blocks underneath us to help us find that place where we can pull the belly in and lengthen the spine. Exhale. Maybe finding our way to where we don't have to use the blocks. Exhale, 2. You have options to take the hands behind you, clasping the hands together, reaching those knuckles back. 3, keep the belly pulling in and drawing the tailbone down. Maybe the arms can reach up. 4, 1 more. And 5, releasing. Slowly finding those forearms. Allowing yourself to breathe deeply and releasing the legs a little bit. So whenever we lift up when we're trying to find our balance, we're squeezing our inner thighs towards each other and keeping those hips square to the front of the mat. And that helps us to begin to use those muscles to help us find balance. Two more deep breaths here. All right, slowly coming back to those hands. Tucking the back toes in, we're going to send the right leg back to the sky. 3-legged dog. Inhale. And then exhale, come all the way back to downward facing dog. Do you notice the difference between the right leg and the left? Push the hips up high, root down through the palms of the hands. And 1 more. Exhale. Left leg to the sky. And exhale. Pull that left leg through. Drop the back knee down. Squaring the hips, pulling the belly in and up. Right hand to the ground. Left arm to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale to come down and slowly walk yourself back. Left toes to the sky. Exhale, 1. Try to keep the back long. Remember those blocks can be used here, and you want to be careful that you're not sinking into that left right hip. And 1 more. Use the heel of that front foot. Really flex that front knee to start bringing yourself back to center, right? Again, those blocks can come on either side here to help. We're going to inhale up into that nice low lunge, pulling the belly in and up. Think about keeping those hips squares. We're constantly trying to pull forward with that back knee and pull back with that front foot. 3. Left hand will come down. Right arm reaches up. Exhale, squeeze to the left. And 1 more. Coming all the way back up. and all the way back down. One hand on either side of the foot, left leg to the sky. Inhale, three-legged dog. As you exhale, draw that left ankle to the right wrist for 5. Inhale, come back up. 4, 3, 4, and 5. To hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down. Once again, finding those forearms if it feels available, putting something underneath that left hip if it's needed, looking back to that back foot and making sure it's not like sickled out in one direction, but trying to keep the top of the foot flat on the ground. Deep breaths here. Slowly coming back up, right? Squaring those hips, pulling the belly in enough, seeing if you can find a little bit of balance here, right? Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Pull that belly in enough. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Coming all the way back down. Back to those forearms. Deep breaths here. All right, slowly coming back to those hands, tucking the back toes in. We're going to inhale, send the left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, bringing the knees down to the mat, sending the hips back for child's pose. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Send the right leg back up. Pull the right leg through as far as you can for a high lunge this time. Prepare here by rooting down to the bottom of the feet and almost trying to draw the legs closer together. So that means I'm trying to draw the bottom of that front foot back towards the midline of the body, and then the ball of that back foot back towards the midline of the body, right? Stabilizing the legs. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. And 1 more. Right arm down. Left arm high. Exhale, reach over. 2 more deep breaths here. Notice that nice long stretch on the outside of the body. Exhale, 2. Exhale, 3. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, send the right leg up. Exhale, pull the right knee to the outside of that right arm. Inhale, come up. Exhale, 2. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, 3. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, 4. Inhale, come back up. And as you exhale, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send it straight back out. And all the way back, downward facing dog. Left leg up. Exhale, pull it forward and through. Heel of that back foot to the sky. Rooting down. Sweep it up. High lunge. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Pull the belly in and up. Try to draw the tailbone down. Get longer than the spine. Exhale, draw that left arm down. Reach that right arm up. And exhale. Exhale, 2. One more. Exhale, 3. Sweeping the arms back up. Exhale, forward. Send the left leg to the sky. Exhale, bring that left knee to the outside of that left arm. Pull that belly in and up. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5 to hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Send it right back up. And all the way down. Deep inhale here. Bring those knees all the way down and all the way back to child's pose. 4 more deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 4. Nice. All right, we're going to come all the way up, back to that tabletop, back to those cat-cow breaths. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, pull that belly in. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, 3. 2. And 1 more. Exhale, 3. Slowly coming all the way back here. We're going to come all the way to our bottoms, right? We're going to practice some of those boat poses, those lovely boat poses. We're going to add a few variations today just to help intensify, right? So I want you to first take the feet about hip width apart, keeping the shins to face the front of the mat. I want you to sit up nice and tall. And if you have capabilities, or if you have a way to be able to see yourself in the mirror, allow yourself to do that, because a lot of times we'll sink into the back side of those hips versus extending from the hips. Okay, so allow yourself to keep extending from the hips, pulling the belly in and up. So we're going to inhale, coming out, and then exhale, reach forward. Try not to let the back round out. Keep the belly pulling in and up as we exhale, pulling forward. Inhale, 2. Exhale. Inhale, 3. Exhale. Inhale, 4. Exhale. Inhale, 5. Exhale. Inhale back to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, exhale. Bottom of the feet together, bound angle. Deep inhale. And deep exhale here. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. And last deep inhale. And exhale. All right, slowly coming back up, we're going to add a twist this time. So again, those feet about shoulder width apart. Charlie's Angels Mudra right in front of you. Nice long back, pulling in and up with the belly. And as we inhale, we're going to twist a tiny bit. Inhale to the right. Exhale, push forward. Again to the right. Exhale, push forward. Notice, keep the back long. Notice the body. We're trying to stay long in the body. 4. And 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4. All the way forward and all the way down. Exhale. 1, Inhale. Exhale, 2. And one more. Exhale, 3. Slowly bring the knees back up. We're going to do that one more time. Charlie's Angels Mudra. To the left this time. Inhale. Keep the back long. Exhale. 1. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Inhale. Exhale. 4. One more. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Forward and down. Nice. Deep breaths here. And then slowly bringing the knees up. Right? And we're going to take those blocks out to the side. We're going to go roll all the way down to our mats. Right? So I'm going to have to take my hair clippy out here for you. When we come to our mats, it's a great way for us to practice some of those hip openers. So that's what we're going to go into here. We have a couple of different poses that I'm targeting for you today. Crossing the right leg over the left and pulling that left leg up is always a good one for the lower back and for those hips. So you also have the option here to take that right elbow and press into the inside of that right leg. So when you're trying to push it away from you and pull it towards you, it's going to help to intensify and to make the body or tell the body that that's what you're wanting it to do. So when I'm trying to press the leg away, it's adding resistance. That resistance is requiring the muscles to work. And when they work, they are telling the opposite side of the muscles to release, right? So squeeze the top of that thigh, the inside of that thigh, into that right hand. For squeeze for 1 and release. Squeeze for 2, release. Squeeze for 3, and then release. Try to push it further away and see about pulling that left leg closer to you. Let the knees sway from side to side. And then we'll switch. So left leg to cross over the right. Pulling in here. Remembering we can use that left elbow now. And then we'll use that left hand to add more. We're going to press away and squeeze that left thigh towards that left hand for 1. Release. 2. Release. And 3. Release. Pulling to you, hugging tight, rolling a little from side to side. And then lengthen both of those legs all the way out. From here, we're going to come into Banana Asana, right? This is a yin yoga pose. So we're going to hold each side for 5 breaths, but this is a great one that you can hold for longer periods of time, like a full minute, for instance, or 2 or 5. And it's going to be really great to help loosen up the outside of those legs and the IT bands and the outside of those hips, right? So I'm going to go ahead and tell you to either cross your right leg over your left or cross your right big toe over your left. And we're going to walk the legs to the left, keeping the back of the hips still on the ground. My arms are going to come up, and I'm going to take my left arm to grab onto my right wrist. And then you're going to try to situate the upper body to come into a banana with your body. So I'm trying to keep the back of my shoulders relaxed, the back of my hips relaxed. And then I squeeze over as much as feels available. That's a little bit too much today. Remember, you try to keep the inside of those legs as close together as you can, and you can clasp those toes together to help with that. And then just allow yourself to breathe, right? Find this a relaxing place to stay for a while. As our body relaxes, it opens up more. And then slowly we'll begin to walk the body back to center and come to the opposite side, right? And deep breaths here. slowly coming back to center. We'll bring the hands down by the hips, the palms to face the sky, and just begin to shake out the whole body. We'll give ourselves a few minutes to lay in our Shavasana, so staying here, allowing yourself to breathe deeply in and out through the nose. Allowing the belly to rise as you inhale and fall as you exhale. Allow everything else to fade away. We'll slowly begin to bring ourselves back, wiggling the fingers and the toes, rotating the hands and the feet clockwise and counterclockwise. Bringing the knees up, let the knees sway from side to side. Gently rolling to the right side of the body. Allow yourself to find stillness here. And you'll prepare yourself to come all the way back to a comfortable seated position. Take your time to get here. Once again, allowing yourself to sit tall and strong, reaching the crown of the head to the sky. Allowing the attention to draw inward as you breathe deeply once more. We can bring those hands together. We can set an intention for the day here, an intention for our practice. We'll begin to bring ourselves back once again to finish our class. Thank you for joining in today. May you think with clarity, see with clarity, and speak with clarity. Namaste. Tips for your practice. In our low lunges and our high lunges, it's very important that we don't allow the pelvis to tilt anteriorly. So it's very common for us to do that, which restricts the ability for us to really start to not weigh in at that lower back, restricting us to find the flexibility that we're wanting to find at the hamstrings, because instead we're like finding the flexibility from the lower back, which ends up not being very good for us, right? So we want to take those blocks underneath us first, and you can Step the right foot forward. I'm just doing one side on each just to kind of give you an idea. So one of the things that you'll see in practice is the anterior tilt of the hips versus the pulling of the belly in and drawing the tailbone down and finding a stable pelvis. Notice how it's not that different. Inhale, I'm letting everything sink down. Exhale, I'm pulling everything back to center. Now, it's not like this is wrong because this does stretch out the front of that left hip flexor a good bit more, but we're sagging into it. So you don't want to hang out here for too long. Finding the stability and the support is going to be much more beneficial for you finding flexibility later on in a structured way, right? So from here, you can come to the top of that leg. And another great way to really help test on how you are preparing yourself in the pose is to press down to the top of the thigh, finding space right below the ribs, right below the hips. Remember, because I can sink into it, or I can pull everything in and up. Notice how much length I gain in my spine when I do so. So that's one of your tips, right? Now, the pigeon pose is very similar. So when I'm going to take my left leg forward to try to balance myself out a little bit. Right, so my left leg is forward. I'm leaning on my left side, and that's always what I tell people to do whenever it feels too intense, right? You go ahead and lean over. You can even pull that back leg in a little bit. So depending on how it feels, each day is different. But when you start to lengthen that leg out, then I'm squaring those hips forward. And I'm pulling the right leg back, or the right leg back to the front, and the left leg back to the back. So I'm really squaring out those hips by pulling those inner thighs together. And again, I have the option of just kind of sinking, but then I have the option of finding that structure, right? That pulling of that belly in, drawing of the tailbone down, and then I am able to use those muscles to help me do the movement. Now, the plank poses, and this is going to be heavy on the core, so this is going to be the last tip for today. And when I'm in my plank position, I'm pulling the palms of my hands towards me, and I'm pulling the balls of feet towards me. Right? So when I'm standing here, and I'm pulling the belly in and up, and I'm drawing the tailbone down, I'm squeezing the back of the legs up, I'm keeping the elbows soft. All of those things are going to cultivate our ability really to target those core muscles to help lessen the burden for those poses when we're trying to hold them. But again, with all of those, we have to be mindful. We don't want to stress our joints out too much, right? Our muscles we're wanting our muscles to do the work. So I hope you enjoyed these tips today from the session, and I hope